Tonight on CTV, a protest on the Plaza by CSU employees against the college. What's at stake for them?
Also, how is CSU working to solve the financial aid crisis they caused? We have the latest.
And the formal induction of Amy Parsons as Colorado State University's president.
All this and more, starting now.
Good evening, Rams. I'm JJ Mckinney.
And I'm Bella Walser. Another search for a Fort Collins man is underway, this time in Rocky Mountain National Park. 49-year-old Chad Palinch went missing in the park 1 week ago. According to park officials, he was last heard from on Wednesday, September 27th, where he started a 28-mile running trail. Rangers located his car at the North Inlet trailhead on the west side of the park. On Monday, October 2nd, search efforts in the park came up empty, and no further information concerning his whereabouts are available at this time. Those with any information are encouraged to reach out to the National Park Investigative Services Bureau at 888-653-0009.
3 years after her Mother's Day disappearance, Suzanne Morphew's remains have been found by the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. Authorities discovered Morphew's remains while working on another case in Moffat, Colorado, 40 miles away from where she was reported missing. Morphew went missing after leaving her home for a bike ride in southern Colorado in early May of 2020. This prompted a search that gained national attention, with authorities searching Colorado to try and locate Morphew. Investigators originally suspected her husband, Barry Morphew, of foul play in her disappearance, charging him with his wife's murder before charges were dropped due to inconclusive evidence. Colorado investigators did not say Morphew's exact location or the condition of her remains, as the case is still under investigation.
The Colorado State Employees Union came together in the Plaza this morning to protest the reclassification of state workers as admin pros. The CSU Board of Governors is trying to push through this reclassification that protesters say may be harmful for the CSU community. Colorado Winds is a state workers union that represents more than 24,000 employees. So if employees were reclassified as admin pro workers, they would legally be unable to unionize as state workers. Also given a sum of money from the state, so reclassifying these employees as admin pro workers would force CSU to cut into their own budget. Protesters fear that losing this state subsidy may lead to CSU cutting into either student tuitions or grants. For those interested in getting involved, Democratic Socialist of America and Colorado Winds is gathering signatures for support to send to the CSU Board of Governors.
Last month, around 48 RAs came forward about their financial situation, saying that they have to pay upwards of $16,000 in bills to financial aid. A mistake made by Housing and Dining Services caused thousands of dollars worth of accidental aid to be sent out. And rather than HDS paying for this mistake, bills were sent to the RAs from financial aid, asking for their money back, which affected RAs are unable to do. Today, more have come forward with their concerns.
It made me really frustrated because I just don't understand why, if that is the reason that University Housing waited so long to put that information in.
I would honestly just want to hear somebody own up, especially now that I've talked to people in housing and in financial aid and just hearing them tell me that I'm SOL, you know?
I am a first-generation low-income student with a low-income family. Confused on why they're charging me for something that wasn't my mistake.
While the university is working on a solution, some RAs wonder how this situation came about and just why they were the ones affected.
You just have to outpay for it.
Josh Duran is a senior residential assistant in Braden Hall. Inspired by positive experiences with his RA in Edwards Hall freshman year, he saw an opportunity to do the same for his students. However, the financial situation he's been placed in by financial aid in housing and dining has changed things.
Refund was around like
$2,000, money that could go towards like books, things for my room, things that, I need for school, all of that. And they're not only trying to ask for that money back, they're also trying to add on $4,000 plus onto that. So the money that they're trying to pay back is now around $7,000. Like if you don't have that money now, then good luck graduating.
Now being charged upwards of $6,000 from the university, Duran is one of the latest students who has lost grants, scholarships, and stipends for this mistake. Duran isn't the only student affected, as at least 48 RAs have been hit. And in those 48, Duran has noticed a pattern.
A lot of the RAs here in Braden Hall and a lot of the RAs that have been affected are minority RAs. You can just see the real effect that it's having right now on RAs of color because of the fact that, again, they are more financially insecure, so they don't have the means to necessarily pay off their school, which could be another driving factor for a lot of the RAs to become RAs, especially the RAs of color, to become RAs.
Duran is not the only RA that has brought up the alleged correlation between the RAs affected and their racial background. Parmali RA Ava Ayala has seen similar circumstances in this situation.
It still affected me because I wanted to pay off one of my loans with the money that they gave me back, and because of like what they're asking for back, I can't pay off that loan, so then it gains interest and I have to pay back more. It's possible that it's students of color, mostly because of like financial aid plans and that they have to go through the financial aid office maybe more than other students, which is a whole nother thing about the university that opens a can of worms.
Housing and Dining in the Office of Financial Aid responded to these allegations, stating that race is not a factor for determining financial need and it is not a part of this situation. The RAs affected are students who demonstrated financial need and assistance from the university. In a joint statement with Colorado State University's administration, the cause of this is confirmed to be made by an accounting error, and CSU hopes to work with more students one-on-one to find a solution. It should be noted that according to research done by the National Center of Education Statistics, students of color, especially Black students, show a higher need for financial aid and more need to take out loans and grants to pay for their tuition. Ultimately, regardless of how this all happened, RAs like Duran and Ayala want to know what can be done.
Like, we do so much and all we get is the housing and the food stipend. So then what happens when you take the money back?
There was no malice intent, but it happened. So I feel like housing needs to step up and take responsibility for what they did and talk to the financial aid office.
As more RAs come forward with statements, CSU has received further calls for accountability, with the hopes that a satisfying solution for every RA comes soon. This is a developing story, and CTV will continue to give updates as more information becomes available.
A 15-year-old boy was fatally shot outside a mall in Aurora, Colorado last Saturday. The Aurora Police Department responded to reports of a shot individual around 8:30 in the evening. Upon their arrival, first responders tried life-saving measures on the victim. Unfortunately, they were too late. At the time, groups of people were celebrating homecoming, and officials suspect that this encounter may have been planned. Patrols at the mall have increased as this incident is an ongoing investigation. And now, for a short break, Adam Carlson will give us weather updates when we return.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
Welcome back, Rams. My name is Adam Carlson, and I am here to give you the weather rundown for this evening. Brisk air is starting to strike campus, and fall colors are starting to bleed into our trees. So let's get right into it. Right now, clear skies and 61 degrees outside. Sun went down about an hour ago, and winds at 7 miles per hour. It is officially October, which means it's time to break out the sweaters, orange colors, and snazz up the crib for the holidays. With a new month, here it's time to consider what the extremes are looking like. 90 degrees days are in the past now. October's temperature record for the month is an 88, and we haven't seen a temperature that high in 32 years. But with that being said, it may be time to start considering how snow will affect your day-to-day. In the eastern plains, everything's pretty agreeable. They're all around 44, with Fort Collins, Lyman, Lamar, and Sterling all shortly off. But when we get into the western slopes, we have Craig at 32, Gunnison giving our low at 27, and Grand Junction with the high of 47. Now, heading into tomorrow, 56 our high, 36 is our low, 33 is our low, and wind at 10 miles per hour, generally a bit cloudier. But heading into your weekend and into the start of next week, we can expect sun and high 70s, high mid. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to get more clouds, and then Wednesday going further into the week, Thursday, maybe even Friday, we'll have some rain on our hands. And that brings me to the end of my forecast for you all tonight. This is my favorite time of year, and I could not be more excited. I could go without some of that wind, though. But with that being said, let's breeze back over to Bella. Stay safe, Rams.
Thank you, Adam. This year's annual fall address marks new beginnings for Colorado State, as CSU President Amy Parsons was formally inducted yesterday on the Oval. The fall address included performances by the CSU Marching Band, the Golden Palms, and a speech by the AS-CSU President Nick DeSalvo. Faculty Council Chair Melinda Smith then presented Parsons with the Presidential Medallion and mace as a way of formally passing leadership to her. Parsons then delivered her first fall address, in which she recalled her time as a student here at CSU. The address was in high attendance as locals came together to watch the fall address and grab a free lunch on the Oval. The annual fall address has been a tradition since the mid-'80s, but yesterday marked the 26th year since the Spring Creek flood, when the fall address took on a whole new meaning. The fall address set a path for the rest of the school year, with the formal induction of a new CSU president and talks of aspiring plans.
After decades of complaints from the Fort Collins community about the effects of the city's controversial U+2 ordinance, Fort Collins City Council is set to move forward on making changes to the occupancy law. Even though students and the public didn't get enough signatures to take the issue to the voters, City Council members decided to address the issue themselves, calling for a revision of the law. Leaders from across the city have chimed in on the issue, with Mayor Jenny Ardent declaring a housing crisis that is community-wide. As it stands, U+2 limits the number of unrelated individuals living under one roof to 3, a rule that residents struggle with as the cost of living goes up. The council has not decided what the best course of action is yet, but ideas of zoning the city or increasing the occupancy numbers are suggested. The city stated that this could be a great step forward for Fort Collins, but that we need to sit together as a community to see how we can meet the needs of residents.
It is currently Banned Book Week, and Poudre Library is celebrating the freedom to read. With many events being hosted this week, Poudre Library is giving locals the opportunity to have an open conversation about book challenging.
Poudre Libraries has been having a number of events like the one here at Mythmaker, so it's just Banned Book Bingo tonight.
For Banned Book Week, Poudre Library is informing locals about censorship through events like bingo.
Thematically this month to really try to highlight sort of the titles and authors that we're seeing frequently being challenged around the country.
Attempts to censor books has become much more common since 2020. Just last year, the American Language Association reported the highest number of attempted book bans in more than 20 years.
It's really about freedom of speech and your right to free expression. And it can become a very slippery slope if we start to say, well, this is appropriate, but this isn't.
As of August 2023, Colorado is one of the 11 states that has more than 100 titles challenged.
So we aren't seeing some of the challenges that other libraries or even entire states are seeing, but that's not to say that it couldn't happen here in Colorado. We've had a few challenges up in Wellington a few months ago, recently Douglas County.
Almond says the local library can be your best resource.
That's really the core of what we do and what we promote is universal access to information. And so I just encourage people to use their local library, not just during Banned Books Week, but year round.
Poudre Library is extending the week to be a month-long celebration, so there are still ways to get involved. You can join this month's book club to pick up a free book or join the online reading challenge for a chance to win some prizes. So actually what I learned, what she told me that I thought was really cool and interesting to know, was that our RAM cards could actually also be a library card. You just have to sign up on their thing, but it's free and it just works the same way. And she also told me they have something called gadgets and things. And so basically all it is they have GoPros and other sort of things you could check out, not just books. So it's good to know.
So what you're telling me is I should actually go to the library now.
Yes, you should actually go to the library.
I'll start reading. You got me, okay. That sounds pretty cool. So I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's good to know.
Nice, cool. Yeah.
Well, with that, we are going to a short break. When we return, we'll dive into the world of sports.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Welcome back, Rams. A team has made a surprising visit to Colorado State this week. The Philadelphia 76ers are here in Fort Collins practicing in the Moby Arena. The NBA franchise is holding a closed training camp at the arena until Friday. The team took to social media saying Rams for the week.
I don't know. All I hear is that Joel Embiid is here in Colorado and he is not squaring up with Jokic. I mean, he shouldn't have won that MVP. I'm just saying, Nuggets fan for life. So I'm going to take the time to use that platform and call for it. If he's here, he should run it back. I'm just saying. I don't know. Greatest basketball player in the world, guys. We have him here. We have him. Nuggets have him. So I feel like they should. One-on-one. I don't know. He's here. He should do it.
Well, that's awesome. I don't know much about sports, but I know it's a great day to be an athlete at CSU.
Of course. Well, that's all the news we have for you all tonight. But
here's Zoe Weir to take us off the court and into the football field.
Thanks, guys. How's it going, Fort Collins? My name is Zoe Weir, and welcome back to another week of CTV Sports. We have 2 big games coming up this Saturday, with one of them being right here at Moby Arena, where CSU women's volleyball takes on San Jose State, while the Rams football team is heading west to Utah State, looking to keep the winning streak going. The Rams football team is now 2-2 and will start conference play in the Desert State, taking on the Aggies of Utah State. This should be a great game and an pretty even playing field. The Aggies are 2-3, falling short to Air Force, Iowa, and James Madison. It looks like both teams will be going with freshman quarterbacks. The Aggies QB is McKay Hillstead. Hillstead is sitting at 730 yards, 5 interceptions, and 8 touchdowns. His main target this season has been Jalen Royals. Royals is sitting at 26 receptions for 382 yards with an impressive 5 touchdowns. The Aggies' starting running back is going to be Devon Booth. Booth has 48 carries for 254 yards and has made it to the end zone twice in the last 5 games. The Rams' offense has been explosive with Dallin Holker and Torrey Horton, and they look to keep it rolling at Utah State. Horton made it to the end zone, not once, not twice, but 3 times just last weekend. Horton is at a whopping 540 yards and 6 touchdowns. His current right-hand man, Dallin Holker, who was looking to have a big fan base this weekend as he plays just 30 minutes from his hometown, is at 362 yards with 5 touchdowns and sits atop all of college football with those 5 TDs. Wow, pretty impressive for a tight end in 4 games. These 2 offensive weapons are both captains of the team and are raising the bar for CSU football. Coach Novell looks forward to starting conference play and gives credit where credit is due. During his Monday night press conference, he spoke on the upcoming game.
We're excited about starting conference play. We had 4 important non-conference games. It kind of gave us an idea of what we have as a team. And now we go to Utah State, and it's always a good trip to go there. They have really good fan support, really well-coached team with Blake Anderson.
It should be a great Saturday night over in the B, Utah, full state. All right, that's enough football for now. Let's move on to women's volleyball. The Rams will host the San Jose Spartans here in Moby Arena this Saturday afternoon. The Spartans are 2-12 in the matches in Fort Collins or Moby Arena, with both wins coming last year. San Jose won for the first time over Colorado State in Moby Arena in a 3-2 match in 2022. So it's looking like a pretty good afternoon for the Rams. The key players that the Rams need to watch out for include Blair Fleming and Nayeli Tia. Fleming leads the Spartans in kills with 189. She also has some pretty decent defensive skills. She has recorded 25 blocks and 39 digs so far this season. Tia follows close behind with 167 kills, an impressive 139 digs, and 31 blocks. 2 pretty well-rounded players. But the Rams should not be too worried. Malaya Jones has been absolutely killing the game, and Kennedy Stanford is right behind her. Jones was just awarded Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week. This came as no surprise. Jones is leading the team in kills with 214, but also has many other skills. Jones is at 46 blocks and 78 digs, making her extremely lethal on the court. Stanford is not far behind Jones. Stanford is at 174 kills, 27 blocks, and 125 digs. Just last Tuesday, when the Rams faced the Cowgirls in Laramie, Stanford finished the night with 14 kills, while Jones had recorded her second career double-double. Although the Rams fell short to the Cowgirls in 4 sets, it was still a hard-fought game. They look to get back on the winning train this Saturday with San Jose. The football and volleyball team have big games this weekend, and the Rams are looking to get some wins. And well, that is all the updates we have for now. Football season and fall season go hand in hand. Here's Kate Sherman and Maisy Barbosa to talk about the best parts of the season.
The temperature and leaves are starting to fall all around campus.
Believe it or not, fall has begun in Fort Collins, and the fall activities, flavors, and sights are now making themselves visible.
We went to our favorite fall spots around campus and asked some students about their favorite parts of fall.
One of the most beautiful places to experience fall on campus is the Oval.
And hopefully the leaves will start turning into beautiful autumn colors soon and leaves will start falling to the ground.
Speaking of leaves, what is a Leaf's favorite Green Day song?
I don't know, what is it?
Rake Me Up When September Ends.
It's a beautiful joke. Thank you.
Homework is just one of the things I like to do on the Oval. It's perfect to sit here in the fall and sit amongst the leaves and watch them change colors. What do you get when you drop a pumpkin?
Squash. If you're 21, you can come down to Rams Colored Pub for a beer.
And if you're not 21, don't worry. There's tons of snacks and things you can do down here as well.
I went and got the Atomic Pumpkin beer. Wow, that is pumpkin-y. Really atomically pumpkin.
So it's good. That's what you came here for.
Yeah. So, how do you repair a broken jack-o'-lantern? I don't know how. You use a pumpkin patch. Can I get an atomic pumpkin? What's a pumpkin's favorite sport? Squash. All really is amazing. Like corn.
What is your favorite thing about fall in general?
It's football season, which gets really exciting. I love Halloween, and the leaves change, so that's awesome.
I love to hike and just be out with friends before it gets cold. I love to go into Old Town, just especially in the fall time. It's just so pretty, and I love to get a pumpkin spice latte, obviously, walk around Old Town, and going to Horsetooth is so pretty in the fall time. I love to hike, so just having that while it's still warm out is really nice, and it's just really fun and pretty in Fort Collins, especially in the fall time.
I like to start eating warm foods, drinking some warm drinks, like hot cocoa, eating some soup. Yeah. Fall, you pumpkin, check out Something from the Farm, which is down south, and they have one of the best pumpkin patches I've ever been to, and like a lot of other fun stuff. So Something from the Farm is one of my favorite places to go in the fall.
And what's your favorite thing to do in the fall on CSU's campus?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I honestly like to sit outside and just like watch the leaves change and like the leaves fall. While it's still nice out, I love sitting outside and just being surrounded by campus and watching people just live their lives, honestly.
My favorite thing about fall is that the leaves change, because where I'm from, they don't really do that. So that's just so cute.
CSU's campus, probably again the leaves. They start to change around this time. It gets really exciting. Just the bright colors. It's a good time.
Honestly, I think one of my favorite would be to go to the Arboretum and check out like the leaves changing on the trees, and then also just kind of like hang out on the plaza and look at the pretty leaves and, you know, take pictures and stuff. It's always so stunning around here. So
I love seeing the leaves change because I'm from Texas, so the leaves just kind of like fall and they don't turn yellow. So I really like seeing just the yellow and the pretty scenery around campus.
Awesome. I feel like that's a popular answer. The fall leaves are definitely beautiful and everyone loves them.
Hi, and welcome to What Do You Like to Do in the Fall? What do you like to do in the fall?
I like to walk through crunchy leaves.
My favorite thing about fall is the weather. I hate the heat.
I like to go to Halloween parties. Those are fun.
The leaves, like the orange leaves when they all change color here in Colorado, it's really cool.
I just like drinking hot chocolate and
ride my bike and listen to sad music.
Drink coffee. Yeah.
Drink hot chocolate.
Drink pumpkin spice lattes.
A nice hike. I think my favorite thing about fall is probably just like the treats and like campfires and like that kind of energy.
I know I'm really falling for fall.
Let's make sure to embrace this beautiful season here at CSU.
Yeah, there's only a few more months left that we won't be needing our winter jackets on campus.
I truly am falling in love with fall.
I believe this will be a great fall.
Students and campus alike have embraced the fall changes on campus.
All this talk about fall really makes me want a pumpkin spice latte, honestly.
You know, I could go for one too, but I feel like the students would rather have leaves than
all they could
coffee.
talk about was the leaves.
Everyone.
I'm more concerned about the weather. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this warm weather to leave.
I am. I hate all this sun. I don't hate it, but it's definitely, I love a nice breeze.
Agree to disagree. And that brings us to the end of our show.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you all next week.